Hello, everyone. For those of you who have been following the news on my channel, you are probably aware that I've been going through some challenges this year, and last year. Um, Last year, if you aren't aware, I injured my left shoulder badly enough that four different orthopedic surgeons and specialists have said that I need a shoulder replacement. That means they take the top of the bone here and they cut it off and they replace it with a metal piece that looks like it. And then they take part of the bone off that it connects to and put a socket there. And that socket has plastic lining on it of some kind. And that's called a shoulder replacement. And they said, don't let it get worse, a lot worse, anyways, because then you have to have a reverse shoulder replacement, and that isn't as stable because that involves significant damage or major damage to the rotator cuff. Well, hooray. So I did what I was supposed to do and filed for workers' comp, and I was denied twice. And Sedgwick is the company that handles workers' comp for Amazon, and I'm sure Amazon hires them because they know Sedgwick isn't going to pay out the money, because Sedgwick is greedy and selfish and makes it hard for just about anybody who needs help. So anyways, I was on light duty for 6 months, and then about a month ago, they were going to put me on medical leave of absence, but the accommodations team put in a request to find me a role that was suitable for my shoulder, which turned out to be in the problem solve department, which is kind of a pseudo problem solve department. It's much easier than real problem solve at Amazon. Unfortunately, since then, my shoulder has gotten worse to the point that I have felt my clavicle, the collarbone, shifting. I have felt pain in the shoulder blade area a few times. No, neither of those have happened a large number of times, but these are new developments. And when I went to the wellness center, and as per the policy of reporting within 24 hours, I told them about this. Well, the ultimate result was, we can't do anything for you. You have to contact Sedgwick and your doctor. So I contacted Sedgwick earlier this week, and well, the short answer was, we're not going to help you. You don't have a new injury. And I was very upset, and I said some unkind words to my case manager, who clearly isn't even human, because she screws over people like me. I worked very hard at Amazon and did my best. And the reward that I have been given for my hard work, instead of being taken care of to repay all the effort I put into helping Amazon, is to be screwed over. So, and if you have been following my news, then you are aware that I had to fire my last lawyer because he was hindering my case. He was lying to me, telling me he was doing things, and it turned out he wasn't doing the things that he was doing. And that includes lying to me about why they didn't initially return my phone calls, and lying to me when he claimed that he had requested from my doctors a reaction report from them regarding the independent medical examination that was given by the orthopedic specialist for hire, who basically, you can just think of it as a doctor who's been bribed to say what they want him to say. And of course, that was in their favor. And the only thing that he actually ever did was to finally send a message to one of them. I have two. One's the regular specialist, and the other one does the surgeries. And he only contacted the regular one, and he said, and asked for some brief questions. He had told me back in June that he had sent a request to both of them, asking for them to respond to the IME results. He never did that. He, in fact, in the beginning of September, told me he was going to file my case, even though he didn't have that documentation. He didn't file it. I didn't find out until later in September that he had lied to me about that. And on the very day that he said, "Okay, I filed," well, not on the very day, actually. Prior, he told me again that he was sending a request to my doctors to respond to the IME, and he didn't do that. And then on the 25th, on the very day that he and I talked about it again, he finally did send this letter, which was just a few questions, but not about the IME. How do I know this? Well, I have the whole file, and it has the letter in it, in which it has the IME copy in it as well. And there's no letter from one or both of my doctors responding to the IME. So yeah, basically, as far as I can tell, he's either extremely incompetent or he was being paid by Amazon and Sedgwick to prevent my case from going to court, because everything that he told me that he was doing was not true. So I fired him last month, and I just met with my new lawyer, who hopefully will not do the same thing to me. So anyways, at this point, because of the new conditions with the clavicle and the scapula or collarbone and shoulder blade, for those of you who don't understand medical terms like that, I really don't have a choice. My lawyer has given me two options. One, we file a complaint against the IME doctor to force him to retract his false statement about my injury not being work-related, which would take at least 3 months to go through the process. Or two, I get surgery on my own medical coverage. And since the peak season at Amazon is coming up here later in November, it is definitely not going to be a good thing for me to be working at that time. So I'm going to be seeing my doctor, and I'm going to find out just how soon it is that we can get the new MRI done if necessary, and then proceed with surgery, because I do not want to have to force myself to work hard during peak, which is typically a very demanding period during the year, and post New Year's is always very demanding, because that is the point at which Amazon will get rid of a lot of their employees, especially the seasonal employees, and then not have enough employees on the floor to do the job. And they do that usually for 4 to 6 months, where they understaff the facility. So since I cannot really afford to wait to see how much worse my shoulder is going to get, at the risk of ending up with having to have a reverse shoulder replacement, I am opting to get the surgery done as soon as possible. And the good side of this is that, assuming that my shoulder isn't beyond the point of a regular shoulder replacement, then that's great. But also, I'll put myself on a medical leave of absence, and I will, from that, I will earn, with documentation from my doctor, I will earn 60% of my normal income. And so you're probably wondering what that means. So that means I'll be getting paid while I'm off for surgery and recovery for however many months that will take. I'll be earning being given $14.46 per hour of the 40-hour week that I normally work. Unfortunately, that will also mean that I will be losing money to taxes and to benefits payments. I don't know exactly how much that's going to be, because at that pay rate, the amount of taxes I'll be charged will be lower than what I'm currently earning or spending on taxes and benefits. But I'm just going to assume at this point that it's going to be, we'll say 25%. It could be as high as 30%. I really don't know. So if we take out that 25%, then what do we get? we end up with $10.85 an hour, or 84.5 actually. I'm just sharing this with you to be transparent with you about what my situation is going to be like. Now, I have my rent to pay, which is $1,100. Fortunately, I have food shares at food stamps or food shares, whatever you want to call it at this time. So that gives me about $530 a month to spend on food, which means I'm probably going to be not doing very many food reviews anymore. You're not going to notice it for like 3 months or so because I have so much of a backlog. I have about 3 months worth of backlog of well, maybe not 3 months. Nah, a month and a half. A month and a half of you'll see a drastic decline in the number of reviews that I'm releasing at that time, especially for Glenn's Fast Reviews. And until I am able to return to helping at my charity, not my charity, I mean the charity that I volunteer at, that's the only other source that I have for getting things to review. So basically, you're not going to see much in the way of reviews at that point until I can get back on my feet again. But there's no clear information on how long that'll take, since I don't even know the true condition of my shoulder. That makes it much harder to estimate. So the point here is that I am not going to be earning enough money to pay my rent and my bills, and this is very distressing for me. But given the situation, and my lawyer doesn't feel there's another option for me, I am really, unless I could find a lawyer who would be willing to or able to pursue the case in a different way, things are going to be difficult. And I'm hoping for the best in terms of the new government, which will happen in January, because it's going to be not entirely, but mostly Republican. The Republican president, the Republicans dominate Congress, and the Republicans dominate the Supreme Court, which is something that hasn't happened in a very long time. And I don't know which faction is going to hold sway. So I'm hoping for the best. I'm preparing for the worst. And the worst could be really, really, really bad, and I'm hoping that doesn't happen. But I am prepared to take actions to protect my son and I in the event that it gets that bad. Nothing violent, don't misunderstand. But so I'm telling you all of this because I want you to understand what's going on. And I'm sharing with you most of the finance. I mean, I also pay like $80 a month for the internet, and I pay right now. I'm paying anything for my phone because I'm on a 1-year free plan from my internet provider. But after that, I'll go back to Mint most likely, and then of course there's electrical, which is only like $60 a month because I'm very conservative on my electrical use. And we'll stop going to the Indian restaurant near our house that we really enjoy going to, which is, really one of the, only other expenses that we have as far as doing things, except for like if we go to a thrift store to buy clothes or whatever. I try to live my life frugally so that I can save money for the future for emergencies. And right now it's an emergency, so I will definitely be drawing on that savings that I built up, which is, it's nice, but I would rather not have to do that. So now that you understand, what are your options to help me if you so choose to help? Well, number one, the easiest thing that isn't going to cost you anything more than several minutes of your time is to choose videos that you appreciate and like them. And then the ones that you really appreciate, you can share them. You can also put comments on videos. Even brief comments are helpful. because YouTube looks at comments as being more important than likes. Likes are super easy to do. Comments take some time. But whether you want to write a short comment or a long comment, or you want to ask me a question, questions are great because then we can be involved in a dialogue that'll makes it look even better because there's interaction, and YouTube likes that a lot. So all of those things are very easy for you to do. You can do them on as many or as few of my videos as you like on whichever of my 3 channels you're interested in. If you can do it on all 3 channels, that's really, really helpful. But the one that currently earns me money is the Glenn's Fast Reviews. But the PC Expert Amateur and the Eclectician channels also need some love. So that's the option that you have, or the options you have to assist me without it costing you anything. If, however, you are interested in trying to help alleviate the financial problems that I'm going to experience while this is happening, the surgery and recovery and stuff, there are options. You can sign up on Glenn's Fast Reviews for my channel, subscribe to it, and not in a way that it's giving me extra money, because that channel still only earns me a little bit over $100 a month, even though it's already gone over 2,000 subscribers, and it's 20-some thousand views a month. It still only earns me a little bit of money. So if you sign up to be a paying member of my channel, that's really helpful. If you want to be to do it through Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII, and you can become a member. There are lots of options for membership. It's hard to modify the tiers. I wanted to add some things to all the tiers, but it won't let me do that. But basically, if you are interested in my tech channel, if you become a member, I will give you access to see the technical information, like my testing results and my database of fans and water coolers and stuff like that. But I can't add it into the membership tiers, unfortunately, because Patreon is goofy that way. So, obviously, you could probably think of other ways to help. For example, I guess another option would be if you were to buy products and send them to me unopened. I can't use used product, even if it's for my tech channel. I can't use used products. I need to have new products. I'm not being difficult. It's just that if I have a used product, I don't know if it's still performing the way it was when it was new. And obviously, if it's food or beverages, that's stuff that, again, has to be new. You can't take a swig and then send me the bottle. So that's a possibility. And if you want to promote my channels on your social media, that also is helpful. And I need a better logo, preferably with the caricature of my head, for Glenn's Fast Reviews. I asked the guy who made the caricature, but he's really busy trying to repair his ceiling, and he doesn't have time to do that. So maybe you have skills in graphic arts, or you can draw it and then photograph it and send it to me, and I'll give you credit for the fact that you made that for me, but it would be my trademark. Just so you understand, it wouldn't be something that I'm paying royalties to you or something like that. So and maybe you'll come up with other ideas. Like I can say that, like, for one or two of my channels, I don't have a border at the top, custom border. That would be another thing. There are lots of ways to help. I definitely need a graphic artist, a videographer to do the video editing for me. Last weekend when I did the review of the Silverstone case, by the time I was done, it has taken all week to get the inflammation in my wrist here from doing that work to get almost to normal. So I really need somebody who has a sense of humor and is creative and good at video editing and can do it rapidly to help me make my videos more attractive and interesting to watch. Yeah, so those are some ideas for how you can help me out. If the only thing you can do is the free stuff, like subscribe, share, comment, send me kind messages, that kind of thing, that's great, and I really appreciate that. And please don't feel embarrassed if that's all you can do, because I've spent much of my life being in that kind of a position as well, where that was all I could do for other people. So yeah, it's totally understandable. A lot of people struggle, and I've been there, and I hope I don't go back there ever again. But yeah, I appreciate all your support and the kindness that people have shown to me, and I hope everything goes great over the next 4 years, and I hope that everybody's lives get better. I hope that Trump will, do the things he says he's going to do and help everybody. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Hi, thank you for watching my video, and I hate doing this, but things have gotten pretty sketchy with my employer, and without going into all the details, which I have covered at other times, at least in part, I need some financial assistance. If you have the opportunity to do so, that's great. If you don't, even if you can just put in a word of support in the comments, that helps. To have even just that is good. But financially, I need to be able to carry on doing what I'm doing with these channels. Not so much this channel, not so much the Eclectician channel, which is mostly just me learning about stuff and sharing it with you, but with my Glenn's Fast Reviews channel, where most of what you see that I review, I've purchased myself, or I've gotten at a food pantry, or somebody gave to me because they know I do reviews. But I have invested huge amounts of money in it, and at this point, with a little over 1,800 viewers, I'm earning maybe $125 a month, which doesn't cover the cost of what I've done, let alone the ongoing cost. And then even worse than that is my third channel that's the PC Expert Amateur, which I've invested a large sum of money that I should have been saving for my retirement, because I wanted to be able to present a lot of information about fans and air coolers and water coolers for computers and other things as well. And in order to do that, I had two choices. I either had to make deals with manufacturers and sell my soul, or stick to my ethics and pay for things myself in order to not be beholden to somebody and not feel like, oh, I owe them. So yeah, it's pretty costly, and with the situation with my employer, Amazon, in which the workers' compensation company Sedgwick refuses to fix my shoulder, which was injured at work over a period of months last year because Amazon's management refused to abide by their own policies to provide me support. I may end up having to pay for the surgery myself with the help of my insurance, and that will still be very expensive. And then I would be out of work for at least a month. So switching to another job, it would be hard, because if I come to you and I say, hey, I I want to work for you, and you're like really interested in me, and then I say, oh, by the way, in the near future, I'm going to be having a shoulder replacement, so I will probably be out of work for a month. You're probably going to say, I'll pass, thanks, though, which would actually be illegal, and you won't tell me that's why you're not choosing me. But it is a problem, especially with me being as old as I am. I'm almost 58. So if you could please, if you can either go to the my YouTube channel, Glenn's Fast Reviews, and you can make any kind of a donation on there, any size, any time you want, through that, because that's my monetized channel. Or you can go to patreon.com. That's patreon.com/Glenn M.I. That's GLENNMII. And you can make a recurring donation. The smallest one I have on there right now is $10. If that's too big for you to give on a monthly basis, let me know. I can always add a smaller one than that. I just need to know. But again, if you are financially strapped, please don't send me money. I don't want somebody else getting into trouble financially just to help me. That would weigh very heavily on my conscience. So thanks again for watching this video, and let's make the world a better place.